Hey everyone, Michelle here and welcome back to my channel and welcome to my July TBR. I didn't think I would have a TBR for July. Because it is my birthday month, I said to myself I would just read whatever I want to read this month, apart from the two books that I read for Read Your Bookshelf and Buzzword. And then I found out about the Olympic Games readathon. So I have 7 books I have to read this month, but apart from that I will read whatever I want, which I am so excited about. They're not my TBR, that's my TBR from last month. I need to film my wrap up. I am really excited. I'm actually filming this on my birthday. I have been birthday book shopping with my sister. I have 9 books to add to my TBR shelves. Which are over there. I currently have 2.5. I think after this month it will most likely be 3.5 4 shelves full. So I need to read, hence the readathons. The Olympic Games readathon is a readathon for the full month of July, but it's not based on the athletic Olympic Games, it is based on the Olympic gods. It is hosted by Ishi at Ishi Time, Nicole at Nicole and Her Books, Sasha at The Wild Sasha, and Ali from at Nature of Pages. I will link all their channels down below. I will also link the announcement video for this readathon below because I think it's such a fun readathon. I am reading from my little reading journal, so if I keep looking down, that is why. So like I said, this isn't about the athletic Olympic Games. This is based on the 10 Olympic gods. I think it's 10, I'll be honest, I only concentrated on Poseidon because he is my Olympic parent. Water baby, of course I would have a water daddy. So there are 5 prompts that you have to do for your parent for this Olympic Games readathon, and then there are bonus challenges. In this TBR video I will just be going through the 5 main challenges because you don't have to do the additional challenges. And because I still want to read whatever I want, I'm not going to prioritise them additional challenges. So now I've got the bit of splurge out of the way, let's get into my actual TBR. So for Read Your Bookshelf, the prompt this month is a book that starts with the first letter of your name. My name is Michelle, so my letter is M. And for that I chose Mina and the Undead by Amy McCaw. This is a horror. Middle grade, I want to say. I'm probably wrong with it being a middle grade, but it looks pretty cool. So I will get into the blurb. Mina arrives in New Orleans to visit her estranged sister Libby. She loves nothing more than a creepy horror movie and can't wait to explore the city's darkest secrets. Vampire tours, seedy bars, spooky cemeteries, disturbing local myths. Yeah, I think I was wrong with saying this was a middle grade. Sorry. That's me. Mina lands a part-time job at a horror movie mansion and meets Jared, Libby's gorgeous housemate and fellow horror enthusiast. But the perfect summer bliss is broken when she stumbles upon the body of a girl with puncture marks on her neck, clutching a lock of hair that suspiciously resembles Libby's. Someone is replicating New Orleans' most brutal supernatural killings. Mina must discover the truth and prove her sister's innocence before she becomes a victim of another myth. This probably wouldn't be more appropriate to read around October time, but at the time I wrote my TBR for the Read Your Bookshelf readathon, this was the only book I had with M. And I didn't want to change it, so I thought I may as well keep it. And for Buzzwordathon, the prompt this month is Last, and for me I will be reading The Last Widow by Karen Slaughter. This is book 9 in the Will Trent series. You may be asking, Michelle, you must have read all 8. No. I had no idea this was the 9th book in a series when I pre-ordered it. Unfortunately it didn't say so on Waterstones and I didn't realise until I got it and put it on Goodreads, and I was like, this is why I always check Goodreads now before pre-ordering books. My sister does have the other 8 in this series. I was meant to go to hers in January and pick up all 8 books. I didn't. So I'm going into this blind. However, according to her, you can read these standalone, so I'm hoping it still makes sense. But the sprayed edges are pretty cool. She might be the first victim, but she won't be the last. A woman is abducted in front of her child. A month later, a second is taken in explosive circumstances. But the web is bigger and darker than anyone could imagine. The clock is ticking to uncover the truth. Now on to my 5 books for the Olympic Games readathon. So, again, I'll be looking down, so I apologise. Prompt number 1 is to read a book with a blue cover, and for this book I have chosen The Prison Healer by Lynette Noni. I have lots of books I want to read that are blue. I put them in a pile, I closed my eyes, and The Prison Healer was the one who won. It looks very dark, but it is blue, I promise. This is a book that was included in Fairy Loot's box. It's not the Fairy Loot edition, unfortunately. So I think a lot of people do know what this book's about, but I will still read you the blurb. Here at Zalendorf, the only person you can trust is yourself. 17-year-old Kiva Meriden is a survivor. For 10 years, she has worked as a healer in the notorious death prison, Zalendorf, making herself indispensable. Kept afloat by messages of hope from her family, Kiva has one goal and one goal only: stay alive. Then one day, the infamous rebel queen arrives at the prison on death's door, and Kiva receives a new message: don't let her die, we are coming. The queen is sentenced to the trial by ordeal, a series of elemental challenges against the torments of air, fire, water and earth, assigned to only the most dangerous of criminals. Aware the sickly queen has little chance of making it through the trials alive, Kiva volunteers to take her place. If she succeeds, both she and the queen will be granted their freedom, but no one has ever survived. And with an incredible plague sweeping Zalendorf, a mysterious new inmate fighting for Kiva's heart, and a prison rebellion brewing, Kiva can't escape the terrible feeling that her trials have only just begun. Prompt number 2 is to read a book where the main character has a sword. I am purely going off the cover for this book, and for this I have gone with The Unbroken by C.L. Clarke. There's a sword right there, so I'm going with the main character has a sword. Terrain is a soldier. Stolen as a child and raised to kill and die for the Empire, she owes loyalty only to her fellow conscripts. But now she's been sent back to her homeland to stop a rebellion, and the ties of blood may be stronger than she thought. Luca needs a turncoat, someone who can sway the rebels towards peace, while Luca focuses on what really matters, winning back her throne. Through assassinations and massacres in bedrooms and war rooms, Terrain and Luca will haggle over the price of a nation. But some things aren't for sale. I love this cover. Yeah. Sprayed edges, it's Illumicrates, and if I remember correctly, every empire demands a revolution. Well, demands a revolution, I should say. I think it's very pretty. And the swords on that too, so I'm going with this main character has a sword if she's a soldier. If there's no swords, I will feel like I have been missold, and that's my excuse. Prompt 3 is to read a book with a non-human character, and for this one, I could have picked many books, but I have gone for Vampires Never Get Old, an anthology of vampire stories by a variety of YA authors, and it's short, it's 285 pages, so I should hopefully be able to skip through this one, she says. Prompt number 4 is to read a book that you haven't heard much about before, and for me, I literally looked at my shelves and thought, any of these books practically, but because one of my mini goals for the year is to read at least one Goldsborough or one Illumicrate book a month, because I already have an Illumicrate on my TBR, that one, nope, not that one, that one, I thought I would go for a Goldsborough book for this one, and for that I have picked Sister Song by Lucy Holland. This is I'll read you the blurb, but I will apologise in advance because I've already done this in one video when I hauled it and the pronunciation went terribly wrong. King Cador's children inherit a land abandoned by the Romans, torn by the warring tribes. Reva can cure others but can't heal her own scars. Cain battles to be seen as a king's son, although born a daughter. And Sin dreams of love, longing for adventure. All three fear a life of confinement within the walls of the hold, their people's last bastion of strength against the invading Saxons. However, change comes on the day ash falls from the sky, bringing Myrddin, meddler and magician. The siblings discover the power that lies within them and the land, but fate also brings Tristan, a warrior whose secrets will tear them apart. Reva, Cain and Sin become entangled in a web of treachery and heartbreak and must fight to forge their own paths. It's a story that will shape the destiny of Britain. This is actually a reimagining of the Two Sisters, an old British folk ballad. I have never heard that folk ballad, but the cover's pretty, the spray's pretty, and it actually sounds very intriguing. And the fifth and final have to do prompt is to read a book that will make you happy. I have gone for The Road Trip by Beth O'Leary. I have loved and been happy with all of Beth's other two works, Flatshare and I can't remember the other one. I can't remember The Switch. That's it. So yeah, I've been really happy with them too, so I'm thinking I'll be really happy with this one, and this one sounds up my alley, like all her books do. Addie and her sister are about to embark on an epic road trip to a friend's wedding in rural Scotland. The playlist is all planned and the snacks are packed. But not long after setting off, a car slams into the back of theirs. The driver is none other than Addie's ex, Dylan, who she's avoided since their traumatic breakup 2 years earlier. Dylan and his best mate are heading to the wedding too, and they've totaled their car, so Addie has no choice but to offer them a ride. The car is soon jam-packed, full of luggage and secrets, and with 400 miles ahead of them, Dylan and Addie can't avoid confronting the very messy history of their relationship. Will they make it to the wedding on time? And more importantly, is this really the end of the road for Addie and Dylan? And here is my TBR. Page-wise, this is 2,713 pages if I remember correctly. I did divide it by the number of days in the month and it came to 88 pages per day to be read to finish it. Seeing as on average I read about 4,000, should be doable. I was meant to start yesterday, I didn't. However, there are a few reading sprints going on this weekend, and you know me and reading sprints, I can read it normally about over 100 pages, so I can probably catch up. So hopefully with them reading sprints, I will be able to get through these by halfway through the month, and then I can just read what I want. But my plan is, at the moment, to read one of these, read a book I want to read, that's not one of these, read one of these, read a book I want to read, etc. I'm going to see how that goes. If it gets to the point where I'm going to struggle fitting more books in, I'll stop the whatever I want to read, because that's what I'm going to do for October. Well, for August, I should say. But yeah, a pretty good month. I think a mixture, which is good. So that was my TBR for the month, a nice and short one compared to June, which I think is what I needed. If you like this video, please give it a like. If you are new to my channel and this is the first video of mine you've ever watched, hi, my name's Michelle. I read a variety of genres and I either babble a lot about them and spoil it for you, or I am very vague about the books and you wonder if I actually read it and why I'm speaking. If you are new and you have liked what you've seen, please click the subscribe button. If you are still considering whether or not I am your type of booktuber, go back, watch a few more videos. They're a lot like this one. But until next time, bye everyone.